Harry's Wife, Part 104.74. Pushy, Polo, Pinocchio. Hello, I'm H.G. Tudor. Now, this occurred a little while ago, but it's worth revisiting just because, A, the ridiculousness of Harry's wife's behaviour, but B, video analyses are always very instructive for you to see the narcissist in action and understand the behaviours that are taking place. It's a short piece of footage that's taken from a polo event where the polo team has won and Harry's wife appears amidst the celebrations. I'm going to play it a couple of times and then I will provide you with the appropriate analysis so that you can understand what is going on. You're able to appreciate the dynamic between the narcissist and the other people there, and also why the narcissist is doing what she is doing. You don't get this anywhere else. As I've explained, those that analyse body language invariably fail to understand narcissism and therefore don't take that into account, or where they attempt to do so, they are not experts in the subject. I am, and that's why I am able to interpret the dynamic and the behaviours appropriately for you. Bring on the footage. Accordingly, there we see the presentation of a trophy. And Harry's wife, of course, also you saw her stood up there on the stage in the Santa Barbara Polo and Racquet Club. And another individual, I'm not sure if this is Nacho, I'm not fully familiar with what he looks like, but another person who's holding on to some kind of box. Now, the first thing to note about all of this is, oh, look, there's only one woman up there. This is a male polo team. So the first point is, what the fuck is she doing there? Well, it's very simple. As a narcissist, she regards all of those people around her as an extension of herself where it's appropriate for her to do so. And therefore, in the circumstances, she believes, because of her sense of entitlement, lack of boundary recognition, and absence of emotional empathy, that she belongs on the stage also. She doesn't see that there's anything wrong with the fact that it's an all-male polo team and there are no other women, no other wives, no other girlfriends stood there. She's oblivious to that fact. This is about a moment of triumph, and because her husband is there, it's her triumph, because it's character trait acquisition and the fact that Harry is an extension of herself. And therefore, her narcissism pushes her to be amongst them all, notwithstanding the fact that no other women are there, and this stands out quite noticeably. You, of course, saw that she gives a nudge to the gentleman stood to her right, tapping him on the shoulder, which is an attempt to assert control over him, and then she goes in to try and take the box from him. This again is a lack of boundary recognition and acting with a sense of entitlement, and is triangulation with an object. We regard this non-intimate secondary source, but he's not playing and keeps hold, forcing her to retreat. The fact that he doesn't pass it to her causes momentary wounding, and her response to that isn't to lay one on him with a Glasgow kiss, headbutting him, or reaching down and grabbing his pods and giving them a squeeze to cause him to relinquish his hold over the box. Instead, her narcissism immediately causes her to back off, and she turns away, and then engages in the clapping like a seal routine. This is something that Harry's wife often does, and is symptomatic of the anxiety that is generated by her narcissism when her control is threatened. As a mid-range narcissist, anxiety looms repeatedly. We've seen it with regard to the rapid blinking. We've seen it with the touching of the hair, and also with her, somebody throw that Duchess a fish. So she starts on with the flapping of the hands, and the trophy is then lifted up, and Harry goes for it, lifting it high. And, of course, who's there trying to position herself in the middle? but the Duchess of inability to read the room. And as the other player on the right of her lifts up to take it, they're obviously looking towards someone to a camera. Other people join in. And, of course, in the middle of them, Harry's wife is basically in the way. If Harry's balls were not in her handbag, he ought to have turned around and have said, "Will you fuck off? You're in the way, woman." But, of course, emasculated and under control, he does none of the sort. And instead, she flaps around in the back, no doubt causing all of the present men to say, "What is this idiot woman doing?" They then allow her to sort of move forward so that she can come in between and underneath the trophy as she continues to clap, looking ridiculous. You can see that the expression on the men's faces is, what on earth is she doing here? She looks stupid. It's similar in a way to her behaviour at the USO event, See Parks Pass Him, where she involved herself and nobody actually wanted her to be there. It demonstrates that she's essentially an unpopular individual, but she can't see this. She's so poor at reading the responses of people in terms of reading the room, as people would talk about. So what you've seen with her is an individual that ought not to be there in the first place, who then attempts to assert control over the gentleman by pinching his box, and he says no to that. So this starts the clapping, and you can see that when the trophy's lifted, she almost goes as if to take the trophy herself. Well, why? She didn't play polo. She wasn't involved in the game. She didn't score in that game. But of course, she believes that this polo team is an extension of her, that their victory, their glory is hers. And then, of course, lurking around at the back as they're holding it aloft, they're basically saying, "Get out of the way." And then she's, "Oh, I'll come through underneath here. Let me in. I need to be seen. Clap, 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 clap. Get myself in on the picture." Toe curling for many of you, I should imagine. Second-hand embarrassment, I believe, is a phrase that many of you will use. But this is entirely unsurprising. You may well know narcissists that are similar in this kind of behaviour, that they plonk themselves in social situations where they're not wanted nor invited, that they involve themselves in events that are nothing really to do with them, that they turn up uninvited, that they enter places where they've not been asked to attend. Here, Harry's wife has to be front and centre. Her narcissism demands it. It doesn't care that she essentially looks stupid. All it cares about is the assertion of control of those around her, her husband and the other men in the polo team. Her narcissism recognises that there is a chance for some acquired glory here, by virtue of joining in with the celebrations. Of course, she manages to assert control over Harry because he moves aside to allow her to come underneath the trophy. And the other gent, being a gent, allows that to happen also, although he must be tempted to whack her on the head with the box that he's holding. Nevertheless, the point is this. Harry's wife exhibits again her lack of boundary recognition, her sense of entitlement, her lack of accountability for her behaviours. It's also demonstrative of her absence of emotional empathy for those around her. It shows that she needs to assert control and does so in a rather vulgar fashion, with the collateral consequence that it makes her look stupid, but she's not thinking about that because she doesn't operate with any shame. She doesn't concern herself with what's actually going on around her in terms of what people are actually thinking. So long as they're not articulating it to her, then she has that sense of control. Blind to her elbowing a way in, blind to how ridiculous she looks, this is just another example of her mid-range narcissism in action, causing her to try and get to the front and centre of things, whilst at the same time making her look like a prize plum. Princess Pinocchio elbowing her way in at the polo. I'll leave you now with the articulated thoughts of what's really going on.
Let me in. I won this trophy. Hi, can I have your box?
Fuck off.
Oh, okay. Clap, 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 clap. Come on, guys, get together. You can all fuck me later. I love that. Ooh, I can't be seen. Please let me through. Let me my big head and my stupid face come through. Thank you very much. I'm so delighted to be here. I am a seal.